Yes guys, welcome back to another video, welcome back to my channel, welcome to Ziad'sZone, welcome to Jadon Sancho officially signing for Chelsea Football Club on a loan but with also an obligation for 20 to 25 million pounds. Listen guys, make sure you're liking, make sure you're subscribing. I know this is a bit late, I know it's late. Sancho's been announced for a little bit while now. To be fair, he's only been announced as a Chelsea player officially from Chelsea about an hour ago, so I'm not too late. But in terms of the here we go, in terms of all of us knowing Sancho's been a Chelsea player, it's been about a day. But listen, as you guys know, holiday vibes, it's a bit difficult. Even now it's a bit late, but I need to get this video out, so make sure you're liking, make sure you're subscribing, show some love to the channel. And listen, I don't know about you guys, but for me, Jadon Sancho, I can't bloody wait. For me, it still feels like a dream. It still feels like a dream. Jadon Sancho is a player that I've been wanting for years, for about 5 years now, ever since he was first at Dortmund. Ever since he was first at Dortmund, I've been dying for Jadon Sancho, Jadon Sancho. He was linked to Man United, he was linked to Chelsea, he was linked to Liverpool when at his first spell with Dortmund, and I was dying for him. I was absolutely dying for him. And sadly, he ended up going to Man United, and in that big contract, I believe it was all over 300k a week, maybe 250. Either way, it was a lot of money, and it didn't work out for him at Man United. Sorry, it did not work out for him at Man United. He ended up having issues with the manager and Ten Hag, but then he went over to Dortmund, balled out, helped Dortmund get to a UCL final. We all know his performances against PSG in the Champions League was quality. Listen, quality player, only 24. This is the main thing, only 24. Versatile, left wing, right wing. Has already spoken to Maresca. He's confirmed he's spoken to Maresca. He's known him from Man City. I don't know how, to be honest. He said he's known him since Pep Guardiola with Man City. I don't know how, because he wasn't there at the same time. But anyway, that's by the by. He spoke to him about how he wants to play, how he likes the wingers the direct, which suits his play. Playing 1-2 quick football with the number 10s. It all suits him and he's exciting. And of course, as you lot know, Jadon Sancho coming in only meant that Raheem Sterling will go not the other way to Man United, but he's also going on loan to Arsenal. So that's Raheem Sterling gone off the books. I mean, not off the books because we still have to pay a lot of his wages, but he's going off to Arsenal. He's gone there for a season-long loan as well. No obligation, no option as far as I'm concerned. And I know. But yeah, listen. Raheem Sterling is 30, 29, whatever it is. He hasn't been performing for Chelsea. Jadon Sancho is still only 24. He's still only 24. He's not going to be earning anywhere near as much as what's his name, Raheem Sterling was at Chelsea. Maresca doesn't want Raheem Sterling. Maresca clearly has good words to Sancho. It's a no-brainer for me. No-brainer for me. Jadon Sancho is still only 24 years of age. There's no reason why we can't get that Dortmund Sancho out of him. If he can go to Dortmund and perform like that in Champions League, why can't he do it at Chelsea? End of the day, the main thing with Jadon Sancho is very clear. At Man United, he wasn't motivated. He wasn't bothered. He wasn't interested. The manager wasn't getting the best out of him. Didn't have a good connection with the manager. But now coming at Chelsea, boyhood club, his idols are Lampard, Drogba, Maresca. He's a fan of him. They're going to work well together. We could get, ladies and gentlemen, the Borussia Dortmund Jadon Sancho. And for me, that is scary if we do that. If we get Jadon Sancho, okay, it's scary for the Premier League. It is absolute scary for the Premier League. And of course, listen, the window's now closed officially. Jadon Sancho in, Neto in, Felix in. I think that's the main names we should be talking about. But of course, a lot of things that people are gonna mention is no striker. But listen, when you get a signing of Jadon Sancho, 20 to 25 million obligation, it's peanuts. It's absolutely nothing. I'm sorry, 20 to 25 million for an obligation for Jadon Sancho, for a 24-year-old who's only recently performed that to an amazing level for Dortmund in the Champions League as well. This could be, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, this could be an absolute steal. This time next year, we could be speaking about an absolute steal. But of course, major concerns people I would say, and a lot of people worrying about, is the fact that Chelsea did not sign a striker. And before I talk about Osihmen and why we didn't get him and whatnot, I have to agree with you guys that agree with a lot of Chelsea fans that it's an L on the sporting directors, it's an L on the Chelsea board, because it's not in sporting directors, it is Bowley. Fabrizio borderline confirmed that Bowley was the one that it was in Napoli, because we saw Fabrizio speak about how Chelsea directors or Chelsea people in the hierarchy went over to Napoli went over to Naples to speak with the hierarchy of Napoli, and he borderline confirmed that it was Boli was part of that. So it's an L on them, L on sporting directors. The fact that you can go through all this effort and still not sign a player, it's an L. To go through the whole summer and still not sign a striker, it's an L. Because a lot of things come into play. Did Osihmen tell you, listen, if you ain't giving me this money, I'm 100% not joining? Why didn't you go for other options earlier? Ivan Toney was there, but Fabrizio did say Chelsea weren't as convinced. Okay, not as convinced, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But yeah, look, the bigger point is, why did Victor Osihmen not join Chelsea? It's wages at the end of the day. It's wages 100%. I'm not too sure what Chelsea offered Victor Osihmen. There's a few numbers flying around, which I don't know is reliable. I haven't seen Fabrizio or anyone quite reliable mention exactly what Chelsea offered him. But I think at the end of the day, you got to back Jackson, but you got to understand Victor Osihmen is still a good player. He's still been a game changer. But I'm just trying to understand, what did Chelsea offer him? What is Napoli asking? What is Osihmen asking for? Because I don't think there would have been a problem on the club side. But what was Osihmen actually asking for? That's my main question. If it's something stupid, 250k before incentives, before bonuses, 300k, I'm sorry. You guys know me very well. If you've been watching my live streams, make sure you like and subscribe, by the way. But if you're watching my live streams over the summer, you've known that I'm not a massive fan of Victor Osihmen. And I don't think he's a player that should be earning 300 grand a week. I just don't think he's that level of striker. I think in this market, it may look that way because the market is not great. It's not full of amazing strikers, big name strikers that are attainable. So it may look that way, but he really isn't. And then at the same time, one thing I have to stress is that Nicholas Jackson is still a good striker. Look, I still have worries about his finishing. His finishing is still concerning. But at the end of the day, if you look at the facts, simple facts, the facts are that last season he scored 14 Premier League goals with a lot of missed chances. But if he scored 14 Premier League goals last season in a worse team in his first season in the Premier League, who says he won't be able to score 17, 18 Premier League goals this season with a better manager, with a better manager hopefully performing? But as of now, start of the season, I say at least in the Premier League, it's been a good, decent start, with the better players around him, more of an actual system, more of a team, more of a better connection. The list goes on. Second league in the second season in the Premier League, more experience, whatnot. The reasons go on. Better players around him, like I mentioned, in Neto, Sancho, Felix, not Conor Gallagher behind him, not Raheem Sterling, all these reasons, all these factors. In my eyes, there's no reason why Nicholas Jackson cannot score 17 Premier League goals. And if he scores 17 Premier League goals, and then you've got Sancho who will chip in, hopefully, Felix who's going to chip in, Palmer who's going to do Palmer thing, Madueke who may be, starting off the right, Neto. These are all players that are going to create more chances, get more goal contributions. So I still don't say, oh no, we didn't sign Osihmen means we can't sign a striker. It means we can't get top four. Nonsense, absolute nonsense. I think the concerning part for me, in terms of not signing striker, is if we get a transfer ban. If we get a transfer ban, then we could be in trouble slightly, ever so slightly. Because we're gonna have a ban. Obviously, we're not gonna be able to sign any strikers and whatnot. But if we don't get a ban, then there's always next season. And I think you got to look at our main goal. No point of looking too far ahead. And our main goal this season is finishing in Champions League football and is winning a few trophies, which with our current squad, which Jackson up front, we're more than capable of doing. I get why people are upset that we didn't sign a striker. I agree, it's not ideal. But at the same time, like I said, he's not the striker. I don't think he's a striker people think he is. I don't think he's as good as people make out to be. And like I said, I don't think he's 250, 300k worthy, if I'm being honest. Ivan Toney's going to end up in Saudi. Osihmen still may end up in Saudi, because otherwise, if he doesn't go there, he may be sitting on the bench until January, So we're going to have to end up seeing what happens. Listen, summer window's open. It is closed, sorry. Finito, khalas. Chalobah on loan to Crystal Palace. Sterling's gone on loan to Arsenal. We've signed Jadon Sancho on the deadline day. And yeah, listen, overall, I say it's a good window. For me personally, I'm biased because Jadon Sancho and Felix, I would say, are my two favourite non-Chelsea, like this time last year, if you asked me who your two favourite non-Chelsea players, Jadon Sancho and Felix would be right up there. So as from a biased point of view, I'm gassed. I'm so excited that we signed my personal favourite players out there. And I'm just excited to see what they can do. I'm excited to hopefully continue the form. Crystal Palace at home tomorrow. Hopefully that these Conference League games are nothing got to do with our Premier League games in terms of performance, which it shouldn't be, because end of the day, the defence is completely different, goalkeeper is different, the whole team is different. So I'm praying tomorrow, Crystal Palace at home, we can see something similar to what we saw against Wolves. Jadon Sancho will be there. And yeah, man, let's see what happens. Make sure we're liking, make sure we're subscribing. We're on the road to 2K, ladies and gentlemen. I know I've been on holiday, so I've been slacking a little bit. But make sure you're smashing that like button. Make sure you're smashing that subscribe button. We're on the road to 2K. Let me know what you think of the transfer window. Let me know what you think of Sancho joining, Osihmen deal falling through. Make sure we're liking and subscribing. Up the Chels. Let's smash Crystal Palace tomorrow. Peace out, ladies.